Was Fortnite OG overrated, underrated, or just rated perfectly? Let's find the answer to that question. But first, let's divide the season up into categories. First, the skins. Second, the map. Third, the weapons. And fourth, the finale event. Let's start off with the skins that came in Fortnite OG. Starting off with the Battle Pass. Now we did get a decent Battle Pass other from the ones in Chapter 4. We had Omega Rock, Omega, and Random Rock combined. We had Renegade Lynx, which was Renegade Raider and Lynx combined. Then we had Little Split, Peely, and Little Whip combined. And then lastly, we had Spectra Knight, a female knight that had the different helmets from the other knights that we had, from Black Knight and the Royal Knights, etc. So we did have a decent lineup for this Battle Pass, but it was simple, and I think that's what everyone likes nowadays. It's the simpleness. Simple skins, simple weapons, simple map, but we're going to dive more into the simpleness of Fortnite OG later on in this video. But if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment if I should do more of these videos on other seasons. But the Battle Pass wasn't the only skins we received in this 1 month of Fortnite OG. We had a lot of cool skins come into the item shop. For example, we had the 3 main characters in the Invincible show. We had Adam Eve, we had Omni-Man, and Invincible. Now, this was a pretty huge collab because it just came out of nowhere in the 2nd week of Fortnite OG. And it was a pretty massive thing because, well, this TV show was massive, and how these skins were made, they look pretty sick. Now, we just didn't get the Invincible collab. We also got Lewis Hamilton, and we also got Eminem at the end of the season. And to not forget, we also got 11 from Stranger Things. Now, apart from the collabs, we had Sora, we had Bright Hunter, and we also had Skull Scout and Raven Team Leader, which was just skins from other seasons combined into one. Like, for example, Sora was just Aura and the Rex skin combined. Like, Raven Team Leader was just Raven and Team Leader combined. So we did have a decent amount of Fortnite original skins coming to the item shop. And we also did have a bundle that costed money. And it was 3 skins from the Chapter 1 combined into a Drift variant. For example, we had the Skull Drifter, we had a Rift Spider Drift, and then we also had a Fish Drift. Now, these were pretty cool skins just within that 1 month of this season. We had many collabs, we had many Fortnite original skins, but is that enough to really give your opinion on Fortnite OG? Well, I don't think it is. So let's move on to number 2, the map. Now, this map that we got was the peak of Fortnite, Chapter 1 Season 5. This is when Fortnite really did blow up during the summertime, and the locations that we got was what everyone was expecting, and 2 weeks later. Let's first start off with the first stage of this map. We had a lot of OG POIs and fan favorites also. We had Greasy Grove, Tilted Towers, Pleasant Park, we had Dusty Divot, Lazy Links, Tomato Town, Wailing Woods, Retail Road, Paradise Palms, and etc. We had a lot of good POIs, and the reason why people really did like this map is because it was simple. Like I mentioned earlier, nothing was just overused, it was just simple, there was no swimming, everything was just simple and just made the gameplay feel really good and not rough or pushed. Now, weeks later into the season, we expected the map to change like it did back in Chapter 1 Season 5. Now, the thing about this map also is that we were supposed to have this map change from Chapter 1 Season 5 all the way up to Chapter 1 Season X, but that really didn't go as planned. In Chapter 1 Season 6, we had the floating island above Loot Lake, and then in Chapter 1 Season 7 and 8, we also had the frozen biome in the bottom left. But it wasn't the snow biome that we did get years ago. It was a little chunk of it. We only had 1 POI, and that was Frosty Flights. The rest was kind of just not there. That's like Polar Peak. It was destroyed, as if the monster came out too early and just destroyed the entire thing. Because I don't think it ever looked like that years ago when the monster did come out of Polar Peak. Now, we did also have some pirate kind of things around the map, but that wasn't a huge change as we expected. A week after that, we had the Season 9 and X map update, and the only thing that it really brought was a 0 point under the island. And that was it. It was quite disappointing, but it still felt good being on the OG map within 1 month before a new chapter. I know everyone loved the OG map, but what about the weapons that we received? Did we receive all the weapons that was in past seasons of Chapter 1? Well, let's see. So in the first week of this Fortnite OG, V27.00 November 3rd, week 1, we had almost every OG weapon that we had in Chapter 1 Season 5. We had the OG Assault Rifle, the Bolt Action, the Semi-Auto, the Pistol, the Pump Shotgun, the TAC, the Rocket Launcher, etc. What about the OG items? But we did have some items that we did receive in Season 5, but what they really did with the season is that they kind of combined every season and kind of put it into one. Like in Week 1 of this Fortnite OG season, we didn't receive everything that was in Chapter 1 Season 5. One thing I want to mention is that the vehicles that we got in the first week of Fortnite OG, and it was only shopping carts and ATKs. One thing about these vehicles is that they required fuel. The ATKs did, the quad crashers did, the planes did, and the vehicle health weren't like OG, and that kind of disappointed everyone because the vehicles weren't the same, and it kind of messed around with the vibe of the season because, well, if you're going to be on the OG map, wouldn't you want to have everything that was in Chapter 1 now? Well, I guess Fortnite didn't want to make it like that. So in Week 2, November 9th, Season 6, Chapter 1, we got some pretty cool weapons, and it kind of spiced up the loot pool in this week. We had the double barrel, we had the clinger, we had the dynamite, we had the chiller trap, the porta fortress, the mountain turrets, and the vehicles that we had was the quad crashers and the drift boards. But there was one weapon that we did get that wasn't from Chapter 1 at all. Not Chapter 2, but Chapter 3. The grapple glove. Now, this wasn't a weapon that you can get in chests. You can only get it with a rift encounter, which they did keep from Chapter 4, Season 4. Which was pretty weird, but it kind of makes sense because we were still in Chapter 4 at the time. Now in Week 3, November 16th, Season 7 and 8, we got the minigun, the quad crasher, the drum gun, which was from Chapter 1, Season 5, which is a little combined thing that they did, balloons, glider redeployment, the dart trap, the combat shotgun, the buried treasure, and for the vehicles we got the X4 Stormwing planes, and then we got the pirate cannons. Now, the weapons for the season was pretty fun because once again it was simple. We all knew how these weapons worked. Now, for the last week of this OG season, Season 9 and X, Week 4 on November 23rd, we got a pretty decent amount of weapons. We had the airstrikes, the drum shotgun, the junk rifts, the proximity grenade launcher, chug splashes, jetpacks, storm flips, and then for the vehicles we had the ballers. Now, everything that I did mention that we got, that wasn't all of it, that's just some of it. We also had a lot of votes and weapons that I didn't mention because, well, there would be a lot. Now, since we got all the weapons out the way, let's talk about the weapons that we didn't receive. And well, it was a lot of them. And the weapons that we didn't receive kind of disappointed the fans because we expected everything that we got in Chapter 1, Season 5, all the way up to X to get back. Like the vehicles, like the mech, the Infinity Blade, the guided missile, but we didn't receive any of it, but we were supposed to. There was leaks that we were supposed to receive the mechs, the guided missile, the Infinity Blade, and much more. But since we didn't, it kind of disappointed, and it kind of takes stars away from rating the season because, well, those items made these seasons fun. But I'm not saying the season wasn't fun, but it definitely would have made it much more fun than it already was. And to end it off, let's talk about the finale event of Fortnite Chapter 4 of Season OG. Now, the event for this season was pretty hyped up because, well, we already knew what it was going to be in the beginning of the season. We knew that we were going to see the rocket launch up to the sky, create a big rift, and then all the rockets would go into the meteor would come down on a 0 point and create another black hole. Well, we were right. In the middle of Season OG, leakers told us that, well, Eminem was going to be a part of this finale event, but we didn't know how it was going to be. We didn't know if it was going to be like Marshmello, Travis Scott, Ariana Grande, but we knew it was going to be mixed with the rocket event. So when the finale event was announced, and it was pretty massive because we were basically going to see many events happen in one. We were going to see the rocket launch again, and then Eminem's concert. And that was a pretty hyped up event until the event day. December 2nd, 2023, everyone loaded into the finale event called The Big Bang, featuring the Eminem's concert and future looks at what is to come in Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 1. So when everyone logged in and joined this event, well, everyone was hyped. We spawned where we were years ago, right by Dusty Divot. So when the event started, the rockets started going up into the air. Now, one thing to mention with this event is that it wasn't the same rocket launching that we saw in Season X. There was no island in the middle like we experienced in VR, and there was a time machine attached to the rocket, which kind of changed up this event in some ways. As the rocket was launching in the sky from Dusty Divot, it started switching to different things, and it was pretty crazy because the sound effect behind it was pretty weird. We didn't expect anything like this to happen. So as it went into the sky, the meteor comes down, drops onto the 0 point, we fly up, and then a black hole happens again. And we're just in this dark screen waiting for something to happen. And then we just see this weird transition out into a galaxy that we never seen before. We finally enter Eminem's concert, and it was pretty fun, from him enlarging, two different styles of his skin taking over, the Brutus being guards. It was actually pretty fun. I really enjoyed this, and I think a lot of people did, but the only problem is that its length wasn't too long. It was about a couple minutes. I don't know if it was even minutes, but it was pretty decent. I had fun with the music that they played, the surroundings, the effects, the music, and just everything that they put together into this concert was pretty fun. And after the concert, well, we got to take looks at what is to come in the next season. And that was a Lego mode, a rocket racing mode, and Fortnite Festival, which we can all log in right now and go see what it is. We've seen Lego characters building, flying, cutting trees, and in the Fortnite Festival we had the little things you had to like kind of match the bars, and then in racing, it was a pretty massive showcase. It was definitely something that we've never seen before. This event was massive, but let's go over the overall status of this season, Fortnite Chapter 4 Season OG. So, let's finally answer that question. Is Fortnite OG overrated? Well, it depends who you're talking to, because in my opinion, I really think Fortnite OG was perfectly rated. Perfect skins that they got in the item shop, the battle pass was nice, the gameplay felt really good, and it really did feel like we were back in OG Fortnite. It really did make us feel like we were in Chapter 1, but the vibe wasn't so nostalgic. Like they made it. It really didn't feel like 2018 again, but it definitely felt good. No mythics, nothing going on crazy, and it really did feel good because, in my opinion, I really think Fortnite OG is perfectly rated. But overall, it's kind of overrated in some ways. People think that Fortnite OG was better than this current chapter, which I don't really think so. I feel like Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 1 has a lot of stuff coming soon that's going to really break the game. And we just can't forget that we just had 3 games enter in Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 1. The Lego mode, the Fortnite Festival, and the Rocket Racing. So we still have a lot to unpack in this season. And I think this first month of Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 1 beats the entirety of Fortnite Season OG. But I want to know your opinion down below. So make sure to tell me what you think of Fortnite OG, and is it overrated, perfectly rated, or underrated? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching.